such a beautiful morning here in Mayaro. What's up, my Trinbago Vibe peeps? Welcome to another edition of Trinbago Vibes. Right now we're in the popular Church Street here in Mayaro, and if you could guess it from the thumbnail, yes, we are church hopping in this one here in Trinidad and Tobago. Well, Trinidad to be exact, more central and south Trinidad. So stick around and let's do this! So our first stop is in Flanagin town. Now, if that sounds familiar to you, then that means you'd have seen my Cocoa Pile Museum. So yeah, so we are heading to the St. Bartholomew RC Church here in Flanagin town. Now, you heard me mention the Cocoa Pile Museum, right? This is where I got the idea from Mr. Timol, you know, Mr. Clive Timol, from the tour and educator at the Cocoa Pile Museum. He indicated that the church here was built with stones from the nearby river. Back in the days, that would be the early 1900s. So that's why we're going to check out this church. Now, I'm not sure the location of the river where they got the stone, to be honest. And the weather here right now, at this point in time, is kind of iffy. So, you know, like, I'll plan to explore. Besides, I want to go check out inside the church. This is a church hopping video after all. So, this church, the St. Bartholomew RC Church, was built in 1937. And of course, it's been upgraded through the years. But it still serves the same purpose as the original church, which used to be in School Street. So yeah, it's a primary school during the week and a church on the weekend, as mass is held every Sunday at 8 AM. And they also welcome visitors when we visited, so we just fell in with the mass. And the people here are very friendly and welcoming, right? And we got to, as you can see here, tour around the church itself. But it's still pretty cool, like how these buildings were built and the engineering behind it, and it still exists today. Early 1900s, you know, we're talking about here, and it's still standing and still serving its purpose here in Flanagin town. Now, it should be noted that this church bell, it used to be in the tower there, but it was moved to the base of the church, you know, for safety reasons. Right, time to move on to our second stop, one with a view. I know the view here is just amazing here, and of course, you know, hot cross buns is the thing this time of the year. So Our Lady of Montserrat RC Church, one of the oldest wooden churches here in Trinidad and Tobago, built in 1878. Now let's go take a look on the inside. Now, being a wooden church, parts of it are a feeding ground for like termites. Yes peeps, termites. So currently the church is raising funds to repair or replace some of these sections with the same material and style, so as to keep it in its original form. So if you cannot assist, I encourage you to do so. They have sales going on throughout to raise funds for these things. Now, this is Our Lady of Montserrat, or the Blessed Virgin Mary, one of the few remaining relics from the Spanish period, or when the Spanish was ruling Trinidad.
She have a way that anytime you start to talk about her, she does appear. You can't see her, but she here.
Wow.
Yeah,
200 years old, wow.
As you announce Our Lady of Montserrat, oh boy. Yeah.
She here.
Yeah, she here.
You're giving me chills.
Yes, you see? You're feeling it. You see, she here, she's present.
The words of one of the caretakers at the Tortuga RC Church. So on the walls are the different paintings of the disciples and of different aspects of the Bible. And you would notice that at the base it is in French. And that's because the church was built by a French priest and architect. It really galvanized. Yeah, boy, it galvanized.
Yeah. And painted brush.
Okay.
Yeah, painting.
Yeah, that painting.
Pass it.
Yeah, I know. These doors going back to the 1800s. Amazing. Trinbago vibes. Right, so while here on this channel, right, this is something we have to talk about. I've mentioned this in my temple hopping video. Now I have to re-emphasize it here in this church hopping one. So sometimes we tend to forget, like with certain views such as these at the lookout point here under the mango tree, or forgive the breeze if you're hearing a set of breeze sounds here because it is very breezy, right? So while we tend to forget that these religious institutions are sacred ground, we have to remember to be respectful of our surroundings, dress appropriately. Please do not come here and leave your rubbish. Take it back with you. I know right here by the mango tree, there's that bench there. It's a cool spot. You know, you could come and sit down, you could come and look out here, you could come and chill, you could come and relax. But when you bring your stuff, your rubbish, your drinks, and you just leave it here, and in this case somebody broke a bottle, how that will be for others who want to visit here? And what would that say about you? Kids, if you are watching this, just remember Uncle Rajiv says, do not litter. Whatever you bring with you, take it back with you. But anyway, that is the Montserrat RC Church here in Tortuga. I know this is like one of my favorite spots. This would appear to be one of my favorite spots, and it is. That's why I keep coming here. It's just amazing. Trinbago vibes. You know, for all the stuff of all the negativities we may have in this country, we still have some amazing places to visit. And of course, all it takes for us is a little bit of empathy, a little bit of consideration, and we can always keep it good for future generations. By the way, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. But with that being said, let's move on to our next spot, which is further south. So yeah, we're heading down, well, this is southeast I should say, right, to Mayaro. Let's go. And of course the street we're in is called Church Street. Yeah, we're heading to the St. Peter and St. Paul RC Church. Now this one is a fun one because of obviously the church is close to the sea, and we always like things close to the sea. Built in 1819 by French settlers and near the beach, makes this one of the more popular churches here on the island. So just in case, you know, you are curious to see these vaulted ceilings inside, or just get an idea what it's like inside these churches, and also a little bit of the brilliant in the engineering architectural aspect, you know, like I'm curious about it being a non-Catholic. Hopefully you are too. So I'm quite happy to do this one, peeps. So yeah, the place is a little dreary, but that's alright. This is the church in Mayaro, the Peter and Paul RC Church. It's pretty cool though to like look how that epic it is. And then on that side there is like the beaches like right there. So that's cool. Now this one is more for Roman Catholic church hopping, but in the future we'll be checking out offers like the Anglican and the Presbyterian churches. Trinbago vibes. This is the first church hopping 2022 here in Trinidad and Tobago. Don't forget to leave a comment. Let me know what you all think. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you enjoy this kind of stuff. And of course, happy Easter. I'll see you all in the next one.